Omatiga here. Welcome back to By Way of Africa. We've got Minnesota Vikings linebacker Brian Asamoah with us today. Brian, I appreciate your time.
No, thank you guys for having me. I'm extremely happy.
So, when you were 10 years old, I read that you
hmm
spent a year in Ghana, and that was the moment when you realized how much you really loved football. Can you take me back to that experience and how being immersed in your culture shaped you as a person and impacted you as a player?
No, most definitely. So, at the age of 10, I was sent to Africa by my parents to live with my dad's brother, who was actually a pastor in the Accra region. So, that experience at 10 years old was really, really crazy, just being super young and being able to go through life without my parents, but also understand why I'm in Africa, to gain that perspective of what life is like out here. You know what I'm saying? So throughout that process, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from living with my dad's brother, who was a pastor. I learned a lot with living with the pastor's wife most of the time because the pastor was on, mission trips and stuff like that. But going to school out there, it was just very, very different from living in, the United States of America, and that gave me a sense of urgency with what I wanted to do in life. It gave me an opportunity to really know what I wanted to do, how I wanted to attack it, and the legacy I wanted to, leave not only in my family but also in Accra, Ghana. So that experience is really a once in a lifetime experience. Like I would never regret going to Ghana at 10 years old, because it's helped me understand what life is like over there, and how grateful I am to have such a life here, and be able to just have dreams and be able to actually execute my dreams is the biggest thing. You look back, or I look back and I see kids, like my stature, but that just don't have the opportunity. And me going there to see that and come back to America and say that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be a football player. This is what I want to do. I'm gonna make the most of my opportunities, and obviously get to where I am. It's all God, but at the same time too, like with my experiences and everything, I was able to see and understand and help me get to where I am as well. So yeah, that was a great. It was fun. I appreciate every single moment.
Fast forward for about 12 years past that time, your NFL dreams came true. You were the
hmm
66th overall pick in the
hmm
2022 draft. And the person at the other end of the phone was general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, who's
Yes.
also from Ghana. You guys
Yes.
speak the same language. What did
hmm
that moment mean for you? And can you talk about that cultural bond that you guys share?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. As I was going through the entire draft process, like I talked to the Vikings probably once or twice, but I never really talked to him. And prior to him getting signed as the GM, it's funny because I had retweeted it on Twitter, and if you like go to my Twitter, like you will see it all the way down. I think it was February of 2021 or something like that. I had retweeted it, not knowing anything about it. Like, oh, I would get picked up for my NFL dream, by a guy, named Quasi. Like, it was unbelievable. So, fast forward, I get drafted, and like I see Minneapolis, Minnesota on my phone call, and I was like, wow, Minnesota. And then, he uttered the words, he uttered,
Yeah, you ever think you would be called by a guy named Quasi for your NFL dream?
see, I was just ecstatic. Like, I couldn't believe it. Just the connection that me and him both share, and just the love that I have for him. I'm just so very grateful that he chose me, in that moment to be a part of this wonderful organization. And I talk to him every day. He's a great guy. It was unbelievable feeling, and we sometimes even talk about it still to this day. So it was amazing, and I will never forget that as well.
I love that you got to experience that. This is your third year in the NFL.
hmm
What's the biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself and in general from being in the league?
I think what I've learned throughout my career so far is just that consistency is a big part of, like, I would say, just who you are. Like you have to stay consistent in this world of lots of change, especially in our league. There's changes every day, there's changes every week, there's changes every year. So you've got to be able to be consistent, but also be able to adapt to what's going on in your life. I've also learned that you know in this life it's a journey, and at some point you'll get to your destination, but as you get to your destination throughout the journey, you got to appreciate the things that happen to you. You got to make the most of every moment and appreciate, like I said, life itself, because every day it's a blessing to just wake up and, play the sport that I love. So you got to come in with, that hardworking mentality. You got to come in knowing that, at any given moment, this could be your last day at wherever it is. So appreciate where you are and just make the most of it. Like, you got to really love what you do and do what you love. And I feel like I'm embracing that right now. And I appreciate, every single moment, every single thing that I've been through. It's just a part of the journey. And at some point when I get my destination, I'm going to look at, the entire journey and be like, wow, this is what I went through. And, this is where I am now. So that's probably my advice to those, that are going to watch this, that are chasing their dream, man. Just appreciate every single moment and make the most of every opportunity.
Going back to draft day, that was an emotional one for you. I saw the
Yes.
tears, rolling down your face as you got that call. I heard the emotion in your voice as you talked to the head coach on the
hmm
phone. If you could go back to that day and give Brian, the soon-to-be rookie, advice, knowing all that you know now, what would you say to your younger self?
I would say you did it, first of all, but you ain't done yet. You got to continue to work and never lose like that hunger that helped you get to where you are. I would say continue to put the work in every day and don't let the external factors dictate your level of happiness, because every day is going to be an up and down roller coaster, but you got to be able to be even killed throughout the entire time. So just I would say continue to put the work in and don't lose focus in what helped you get here. Just continue to do that every single day. Put the work in and don't let the external factors affect your day-to-day process. That's what I would say.
Whether it's on your headband or your thigh pads or your cleats, you rep
Yes.
Ghana from head to toe.
hmm
Why is representing your culture so important to you?
I look back and I talk to my parents. I talk to my family. It's crazy because I never would a million years thought that I would be you know where I am. And when I say like that, I'm not really saying that I didn't have the dream of going to the NFL, because that was always my dream, but just being in America playing national football at the highest level, like that's a huge blessing. That's something that I prayed for extensively, and just being able to do it, like, why not be able to rep my country? Why not be able to rep where I come from, and express my love and my gratitude for where I'm from. This is a very America's known for its diversity, and I'm blessed to be African, competing at the highest level at one of the highest ranks, uh, games. So I just try to do my best, to show the next generation, what where they could be at and what they could be doing to show their love. You go to other countries, they're passionate about where they're from, and I just try to do my best to show my love for my country and where I'm from. And I appreciate, like, if you talk to any guys in the locker room, I'm playing my African music too. So any way I could to show my love for Ghana, I'm going to do it 100% of the time.
That you've given some of your coaches traditional wear to have.
Yes.
You guys had a team,
Yes.
jollof competition. Which country
hmm
won? Which country?
uh
Give it up for them. Nigeria, the best jollof rice.
Nigeria won, but there was some cheating going on back there, so
Mm, okay.
we
All
came in
right.
second place, I guess.
What are some of the other ways that you've shared your culture with the team?
Um, I think definitely the jollof rice. I give it to my coaches all the time, and I will be sharing kind of an experience of them coming to Ghana to help me with my camp next year. Hasn't dropped yet, but I'm probably gonna do a camp out there next year. And also I do have a youth football league in Accra, Ghana right now, and that's progressing. It's a U14 football league. Just got released to the public about a month ago, and really, I'm just trying to give these kids an opportunity of a lifetime to one day be able to compete at the highest level like I am right now. So that's going to continue to blow up. And you're going to see kids coming from, Accra, Ghana, like myself, with the unbelievable skill set that it just hasn't been seen before, just because they don't have the exposure. And I think that's what, I'm here to do, is to give these kids exposure, to showcase not only what's in America, but let's make this sport global. And look at the kids that we have in Africa and bring them to America. So with my teammates' help, and also just general funding to help me get all this done, I can see us going pretty far for sure.
This season, there are 138 African players in the NFL. You are just one of 7 players
hmm
from Ghana. What does that mean to you?
it means a lot, but also it's devastating because I want the kids in Africa to have a chance too. Like the 6'1", 230. There are kids out there that are 6'3", 270 that could probably run super fast too. So it's extremely exciting for me because I'm a part of the one of 7. But I know there's much more talent out there in the world that they, like I said, don't have the exposure, but they should be somewhat seen in a sense to be a part of this special game. And that's my part. So I'm going to continue to do that. But it's an unbelievable feeling that I get to be a part of the one of 7. But I think there should be many more. But it is pretty cool to be a part of.
The league continues to expand and give kids exposure through NFL Africa. Last year, you actually had the opportunity to travel to Nairobi, Kenya, to
hmm
lead one of the talent identification camps. I actually spoke to one of the kids that attended, and he
Really?
described it as a
Wow.
life-changing experience. Benson Jerry.
Oh, I know
Um,
who that is. Yeah, that's my. Oh,
yes,
he's gonna be really good. He's gonna be really
yeah,
good.
big future ahead for him. But can
hmm
you talk about how that experience impacted you and why it's led to you giving back?
it, that I mean, man, I don't know. I lose words when I think about that experience because it's once in a lifetime, first of all, and second of all, like just seeing the talent that these kids have, and they're just really 15 through 18. Like I'm talking about talented kids that have the stature to go out there and compete in the National Football League today, and they're 15 years old. So um, that was just like a cool moment that I got to see people, that were just like me, that come from the same heritage, that come from the same country. Seeing the sport grow itself in a whole different country is really crazy to me. But it was an amazing experience just to be around the kids and help them really try to achieve their dreams. Because um, I wouldn't be where I'm at if people didn't, look at me. It's like, hey, I'm going to help this kid, achieve his dreams. So why not, be that person for them as well? With the help of OC and also obviously the whole NFL Africa too. Like, what a wonderful job they're doing, as well. But no, life changing experience. Like I would recommend anybody to go do that. Go be a part of something special. Go be a part of something that's growing. Go be a part of something that is going to leave a lasting legacy in our world today. Because those kids have talent and they just need exposure.
You've talked about why giving back is so important to you, but could you share more about your foundation and why creating opportunities for the next generation is so important?
I think creating opportunities for the next generation is very important because we're looking at the next generation of leaders, and that's what the Be Authentic Foundation is about. We strive to help kids exceed their goals in whatever avenue that they choose, whether it's sports, whether it's academics, whatever field that they truly aspire to be successful in. We provide those things. So right now, along with my U14 football league, that is a certain, opportunity for kids to gain exposure um, with their love of the game, giving them the opportunity to go out there and practice in front of media, in front of people that, hey, see, like, hey, these kids are talented. Let's get them to the IPP program, as well as, paying for kids' school fees as well so that they could someday go out there and go be a doctor. So that's my part, I believe. I think that's what, God has also called me to do. And that's what something that my parents have instilled in me. Like, you always got to help out your community. You always got to help out your country. You always got to, do service and where I'm from. So shout out to my parents and shout out to everybody that's helped me kind of get this rolling, especially my brother. He's played a key part in helping me get this whole thing started.
What is your favorite thing about being Ghanaian?
I would say the food, the music, how we carry ourselves. I think that's the best part about being, Ghanaian. We understand where we're from, and we're not, afraid to express that. I love our music. Our culture is just something that is different. And then our food is one of a kind. Like there hasn't been a person that I've given, jollof rice or whatever to them, and they're like, okay, no, I don't like this. No, they appreciate, you know, the history that this food comes from and the taste, like the rich taste that it comes with.
What are some of the values and traditions that have shaped you into who you are today?
I think the value that has helped me really is integrity. You always want to look at you always want to be looked upon as a very trusted individual, and that's something that my parents have always said that with your word you have to be able to speak impeccably, and also obviously this is in the Bible as well. But my dad always told me respect yourself, and be humble. So I would say those two things have helped shape me into the individual that I am today. Respecting others, no matter who it is. Yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Always greeting one another. That's something that my dad had taught me at a young age. Um, so I would say definitely those two.
Can you tell me what your last name translates to in your language?
I believe Asamoah is like the leader, means leader. Leader, um, man on a mission. And I think that exemplifies who I am, being a leader in every environment that I'm in, and also just establishing a type of energy that comes with being who I am. I feel like every time I walk into a room, um, you're gonna appreciate me being in there. Whether it's light the room up with my joy, or whatever it is, like you're just gonna appreciate me being in that same vicinity.
All right, are you ready for this or that game?
Yeah, I didn't know we were doing the game, so I'm excited actually. I like to compete.
Buckle up.
I like to
Jollof
compete.
rice, jollof rice or guache?
I would say jollof rice.
Plantain or boiled yam?
Mm, I would say boiled yams.
Afrobeats or Mapiano?
Woo! Afro beats. Beyond, yeah, I would
Name
say Afro beats. Yeah,
name your top three Afrobeats artists of all time.
they might be Nigerian, so oh man, I like
That's
Burna
fine.
Boy. I like Burna Boy. I like Wizkid, and then I would say Black Sheriff. That's my third.
What Afrobeat song do you currently have on repeat at the moment?
It's actually a song by Wizkid called "Dance."
Okay,
Yeah, I like that
fire.
right now. Yeah, I like that right now. Or MMS by Wizkid too, and Ashake.
Awesome. Well, Brian, is there anything else that you wanted to share about your culture or your passion that we didn't cover?
Honestly, I think that we've hit everything. I honestly would like to say that I appreciate your time as well. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of something special that you got going on, and I can't wait to see how far this continues to go.
Thank you so much, and best of luck to you in all that's ahead. I can't wait to see how much impact you make, through the camp and all of your endeavors on and off the field.